Welcome back, everyone. Today we're making lemon spinach spaghetti. It's really easy and there's only a handful of ingredients and it's vegetarian, which is great. You're going to first mince 3 cloves of garlic. When trying to mince garlic, it's a good idea to use a very wide vegetable knife. This one is called the Petite Chef from Cutco, and you use the wide part to smash the garlic. It gets the thin, papery stuff off a little bit easier. Not that much easier. If the garlic is small, it's not as effective as if the garlic piece is big. Then take any kind of cooking spray and spray a large skillet with it. I'm using olive oil here. You can use canola oil or vegetable oil as well. And then you're going to cook your garlic on medium-low heat so that you don't burn it. Cooking the garlic is going to take a while, but patience is key here. You can always add more nonstick spray if necessary. The garlic is done, and now we're going to add 1 cup of milk to the skillet. If you had your heat up a little high, it will steam like this, but that's okay. Once the pan cools down, the steam will dissipate. Next, you're going to add 2½ cups of vegetable broth, but I don't have vegetable broth, so I'm making it myself using chicken bouillon, and that is how you pronounce that word. It is not bouillon, it is bouillon because it's French. I hope that didn't sound super cranky and mean, but it's weird being from a place where everyone speaks French pretty well, like Louisiana, and hearing people pronounce French words kind of wrong all the time when I watch these cooking videos. I will show you how to make chicken bouillon in a minute. You can use it as a vegetable broth or chicken broth replacer. And now you're going to get 8 ounces of pasta and cook that in the skillet with the milk and vegetable broth. So this is my way of getting a small amount of pasta out of the box. I do have a scale, but it was actually in the cabinet right where my tripod was, and I couldn't open the door to get the scale out. I just cover half the box when it's spaghetti. See how easy that was? And look, you can get half of it out pretty easily. If you're working with smaller pasta like rotini or whatever, then just eyeball it. Then cook the pasta for 20 minutes. So if you'd like to learn how to make chicken bouillon, You can go ahead and follow this recipe here I have for it. You're going to use 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast flakes. This is a weird ingredient. I only use it for this and to make like fake cheese crackers. I don't like using something just for a couple stuff, but what are you going to do? I don't really have an option. I don't have the freezer space to keep broth in the freezer, and I don't think you should be buying that from the store. It's so easy to make yourself. And then you're going to put a 1/4 tablespoon of onion powder. So I'm going to rewrite my recipe because a 1/4 tablespoon is actually the same thing as 3/4 teaspoon. So use 3/4 teaspoons of onion powder. Then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Next is a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Next is an 1/8 teaspoon of paprika. According to my husband, nobody has an 1/8 teaspoon of anything. So if you don't have one of those smallish spoons, just eyeball it. An 1/8 teaspoon of dried thyme. You can't use fresh or this will totally go bad. Then 1/8 teaspoon of ground turmeric. In all of my recipes that use turmeric, the author typically states that turmeric is only there for color. This is a chicken bouillon recipe, so the yellow color helps making you think it tastes like chicken. It's psychological. So if you don't have turmeric, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. I don't think it has that much of a flavor at all. Then mix it all together, and you're going to put it into your spice jar. And then when you're ready to use, you'll use 2 teaspoons of powder to 1 cup of water. I actually didn't have quite enough when I made the lemon spinach spaghetti, but I also didn't feel like adding it after I made the additional bouillon. And this fills a 2-ounce jar about halfway, a little over halfway, so you could probably double the recipe if you're making it to use immediately. That way you'll have enough to fill the jar.
Come here and tell me what you want to say.
20 minutes is probably enough to get your pasta to al dente, but I am a bad Italian. I actually do not like al dente pasta. I think it's hard and gritty. I don't want to be able to taste a soft outside and a hard inside. I prefer it mushy. If you're using fresh spinach, you'll be using 10 ounces, and you're going to want to rinse it off first and then chop it up. I decided to use frozen spinach because I wasn't sure when I was going to make this, and the spinach was the only non-shelf stable item in the ingredient list. So I bought frozen, which comes in 12-ounce packages. So there's a little more than you might get in a regular spinach. What do you call it? Handful? Chunk? I don't know. It's bunch.
Same thing. I know what you want, babe. We want the same thing. Scared to love, but we couldn't help. Scared to love, but we couldn't help falling, falling, falling.
I also did not defrost my spinach early enough, and there were lots of frozen little chunks in there. So I covered the skillet so that it would defrost faster. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice will be added.
Don't we know it's alright? Don't we know it's okay? Don't we know it's alright? We keep falling anyway. Don't we know it's alright? Don't we know it's okay? Don't we know it's alright?
Then you'll add salt, pepper, and red pepper to taste. That first pepper is black pepper, or whatever black pepper mix you have. I don't have red pepper, so I'm going to put a dash of cayenne powder in.
If we tried, I know we couldn't stay away. If we tried, I know we couldn't, babe. Pulling at us like a tidal wave. I keep losing my place. I know what you want, babe.
Stir as well as you can, and then after a while the liquid in the skillet will thicken. I was a little impatient for dinner, so I didn't let the liquid thicken enough. After it had cooled, it was kind of a clear, shiny glaze on the pasta. So it definitely thickened up enough afterwards. So this is a super easy pasta meal. Mine was vegetarian, but you can substitute the milk with vegan milk, and I don't think it would change pretty much anything in the recipe, and you can make it vegan that way. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you liked it, please hit the like button below, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks very much. Happy eating!